Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty.
Hey folks, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I hope you're having a really good Sunday. It's cold in the office tonight. I do have that radiator on, but as this camera seems to be hit by the convection current from the radiator at the side of me,
Incredible.
I have that turned off tonight. So it's still a little bit chilly. It's probably about 11 degrees Celsius in here right now, so it's still cold, but it is getting warmer. So hopefully we'll be okay as we start the stream. So I'm not sure what happened at the start of the stream today, or before the stream started today, because it looks like Captain Reed and Captain Redlack, were engaged in a bit of to and fro. So I'm not actually sure who did come first today, because Reed says no at 5 to 6, 5:55 p.m, and says someone came before me. And then he goes, wait, I shouldn't admit that in the hope that Jay doesn't see this. Well, I did see it, so there you go. If you're seeing this, I came first, and then Captain Redlack said lie. So I don't know who came first today. But then Captain Reed did say that he was coming again, just in case I wasn't here earlier. So who knows? Who knows? Super Hands is here as well. He says, good evening, Jay and crew. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. My message was seen before Reed's. Unfortunately not. I usually have all the setup ready to go a couple of hours before the stream, about 6 p.m. So I kind of see all the messages from then, because that's where I start monitoring it from. Rue, good evening, good sir. Randolph the Grey says, hey yo, let's see those SA Blackest Black keycaps. Yes, I actually have them to the side of me, funnily enough, so I can show you that in a few minutes' time. That's not a problem. Jellymaster, thank you so much for 48 months of subs. Happy 4th PT birthday, dude. 4 entire years. Where has that time gone? Dude, I don't know, but you look better and better every time I see you, so you're doing well. Hammer Brother, good evening, good sir. Anarchy's here as well. So is Jehovah in bed. True Blaze, thank you so much for 34 months of subs. Really appreciate that. And thank you to Chris Bezic for 44 months of subs as well. Good evening, gentle nerds, he says. ZBC is here as well. So is Human Going. Captain Reed here as well. True Blaze has reached a watch streak. Currently on a 5-stream streak. Congratulations, dude. I appreciate that. Human Going, thank you so much for the Prime sub as well, dude. Really appreciate that. David from Cool Keys is here too. He said, so by official rules, I came first, says Captain Reed. Well, yours was the first message I saw, so yes, you did, but I don't know what was going on at the time, so I think I might have turned on the system whilst you were having that argument, but yeah, whoever comes first will have chat. Yeah, technically you were first, you are at the top of the list, yes. V Rugdush, good evening, Jay and everyone. Good evening, good sir, hope you're doing well. KCE is here as well. Matt Vo is here as well. I think it's actually your build we're doing today, Matt. I might have just dropped you an email. If it was you, congratulations. If it's not you, don't need to check your emails, but yeah, there we go. I heard DKC will have night clip-ins in the near future. Any plans for PT? I don't know who DKC are, but yeah, we will have. We are restocking on nights because we've sold out of them, and I'll try and get both screw-in and clip-ins. Yes, I will. In fact, before I go any further in the stream, I will just add that to my list of things. Cool. Added to my list. David says, well, I came last, and in some aspects of life, that's winning. Dude, you didn't come last, but you are here, which is all that you need to know, and that's the good thing. I did. Cool. It is Matt's build we're doing today, so congratulations, Matt. It's your board we're building today. Cynic12, good evening, good sir. I hope you're doing well. Delta Kiko. Oh, okay, so I do know Delta, the guys at Delta. Yeah, I haven't spoken to them for a little while, but I do know them, yeah. Typing this from the Neo Ergo I ordered from you guys the other day, and now I can't wait to get this one too. Yeah, so the Neo Ergo and the QK Alice Duo are really cool boards, but they're very different in terms of how you can use them. Because the Neo Ergo is kind of like a candy bar design, but the Alice almost kind of layout, the Ergo type layout, which there is arguments as to whether that actually is ergonomic or not, but they're very comfortable to use, are really nice. The QK Alice Duo is 2 boards, well technically 3, but 2 keyboards that you can move around, so you can actually have them spread out or wherever you want, you know, different positions, so they're really fun. Sweet sounds, thank you, man. Everything you mentioned in the email sounded good to me. Excellent. Then that is what we'll do. We were just talking through email about the layout options. I was kind of like giving him a breakdown of how we were going to build it today, and him to let me know if I need to change it before we ship it out. I do have some biscuits here as well. I am going to have a biscuit because I'm really hungry. And I did have a really nice dinner with my wife earlier on. We had Toad in the Hole, which, for those of you not from the UK who don't know what that is, it's basically sausages, mashed potatoes, tons of gravy, and the sausages are inside a Yorkshire pudding. So it's like a big Yorkshire pudding that you put the sausages in and you kind of bake it all together. And it's delicious and tasty, but I am in the mood for a sweet treat of a biscuit. And Mel and I bought these from Asda, the supermarket, on Friday and didn't open them, so I'm going to open them now. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to have, but let's pick a biscuit. I'm not hungry. I don't know why I'm so hungry, because I did have lots to eat. I'm going to try one of these. It looks like a Rice Krispie little cake. Okay, it's like a chocolate rice cake almost. Delicious. Great. I'm gonna have one of these as well. You want biscuit ASMR? I don't know if you could hear me chewing or not. I don't know if the microphone picks that up, but yeah, okay. I'm gonna go for this one. It's dark chocolate this time with salt on. Nice. I'm gonna have to have one more, guys, because like it's been a long day. And I shall tuck these away so I don't have too many calories and destroy my gut. Come on. I need to put these out of reach so I don't dip into them again. Okay, they're way over at the other side of the room now. Right, I'll finish this last one off. I don't know what this is. This is kind of like a macaroon style with some white chocolate on the sides. Oh man, that's really good. It's like a pavlova type thing. Delicious. Chocky on the desk mat, that's triggering me. That's sadly not chocolate. That is sadly blood from a switch that pierced my finger the other day, which I do need to get cleaned and sorted, really. But yeah, it's turned into a weirdly different stream. Hey, it is what it is. That coffee looks beautiful, by the way. Thanks, man. You are more than welcome to come to PT and I will make you a coffee. Every Thursday we do keyboards and coffee. I think, though, we're only going to do 2 more this year, keyboards and coffee. It's going to be this week coming and the week after, because after that we just get really close to Christmas and I'm not going to be around all the time and other things are happening. So I think the next 2 weeks are going to be the last 2 weeks we do keyboards and coffee this year, and then we'll see if it comes back into next year. Jellymaster, thank you so much for 5 tier 1 gift subs. I really appreciate that. So Elbez, Slice of Meat, Refried Beans, Wearon, and Roa Shark. Congratulations, guys. And also thank you very much to Tactile Engineer for watching 5 streams. He's currently on a 5 stream streak. And he says, LS Duo, typing on one at the minute. Nice. Right, let's catch up with chat. Finally got round to unboxing the SL Cypher B-Stock set that I got from you a while back. Now I know your pain. I almost got cross-eyed just from checking one set. I can't imagine sorting through all of them. Dude, that whole project was a real pain. We are still owed a refund from SL, Switch Labs, for something like $1,800, which isn't a huge amount of money, but it's principle. But they are now defunct and don't exist and just are not replying to us at all. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. Oh, good coffee. Right, okay. Absolute carnage in the biscuit box. Yeah, I think it just got I think we just like that off the shelf. Like, all that's happened is Mel and I drove to Asda, and if you've been to the PT workshop, Asda is like literally, you could probably walk it in 5 minutes. It's not far. It's maybe half a mile on the road, if that. And we drove there because it was absolutely raining like cats and dogs on Friday, and the cleaning lady who comes in on a Friday morning, Cheryl, she drank all of the milk, so I had no milk to make a coffee with at like 11 o'clock. So I went to the supermarket to get milk primarily, and ended up buying biscuits as well. Mel picked some orange biscuits, I picked the fancy box, and I just needed a biscuit right now, or a cookie if you're American, I guess. A marbles race today for fun. To celebrate, we still have the World Drivers' Championship alive till the last race. Yeah, we can do some marbles later on today. Yeah, remind me towards the end of the stream, guys, as I'm starting to wind down, remind me to do marbles. I don't know if we'll do a prize or not, we'll see. But yeah. If you're not from the UK, toad in the hole certainly sounds like a euphemism for something. Give him the old toad in the hole, or her, or them, etc. Fair. I know it does, but it's just a meal, it's just a dish, and it's tasty. Finger rolls are the best? Maybe. I mean, they're all really good, so yeah, they're supposed to be good, right? It'd be a terrible packet of sweet treats if the sweet treats weren't good, right? That would be the whole thing gone and done. David says, those roll things are amazing. I always forget that we're cold, though. The ones where it's kind of like curled up, where the biscuit's kind of curled up and on itself, yeah, I don't know what they're called, but I do like them. Turning into a weirdly different stream, says Mr. Cullen. Maybe. I wish I could come along to PT. It's like a 5-hour drive for me, so a bit of a trek. Yeah, we had one person come all the way from Iceland to the open day a couple of weeks ago. There's a couple of Europeans as well, and one guy done a road trip from Holland, he was telling me, which was pretty cool. So yeah, people do it. Not only was the SL Cypher set hard to sort through, but it had the weirdest smell. I had to wash off both the caps and the plastic trays and left the cardboard box open to air out. I sincerely hope that's not what the PT workshop smells like, because that would be a hazardous work environment. No, what you're smelling there in those packs is just sometimes how plastic smells when it comes out of like the factory. It's like they spray like a mold release onto it to get it to release from the molds, obviously when they're taking the keycaps out. And then what they have to do is when they ablate the legends on top, so a lot of parts of SL Cypher are pad printed. When they're putting the pad print on it, kind of like that charges the mold release spray, and then it kind of gives off a smell until you've had them out for, I don't know, 36, 48 hours, something like that. Because we kept them sealed in bags, it kind of just held on to the smell. So some manufacturers take this into account and actually rectify for that as part of the whole packing of switches. Like GMK, they air them out in the sorting tubs before they get put into the boxes, so you don't notice the smell. So yeah, just depends on the manufacturer. Keebs and coffee needs to be done one day. You're more than welcome anytime, dude. Good coffee, like the stuff I send you on Insta. Reed, the videos you sent me on Insta over the past couple of weeks have destroyed my faith in people making coffee. Superhand says, hey Jay, what's the latest in the saga that is the Theseus? Okay, so getting into PT news here. I'm just going to kick my shoes off. Now it's a little bit warmer. And get my footstool out. So, we have all the Theseus boards. We have enough that have passed QC for us to ship the boards out and meet the group buy orders. All of the boards were missing the 2 ribbon cables that I needed to connect the daughter boards to the main PCBs. We now have those, and I just need to go through and put them into each order. All of the solder PCBs are missing the daughter boards that go with them. Well, they're not technically missing. They all have 2 daughter boards, but the daughter boards are mirror images of each other. So you have one shaped daughter board for the left, one shaped daughter board for the right. Most of the boards have either 2 left daughter boards or 2 right daughter boards, which means they don't fit in the cases. So I need to go through all of the solder orders, take all of the or check them basically to make sure we've got them correct. But then we don't have enough daughter boards for the extra solder PCBs as well, and I can't remember if they were supposed to come with them or not, so I need to sort that out. And then the O-rings that hold the knobs onto the shafts, yeah, full of innuendo here tonight. It's like the shaft that sits on the rotary encoder is made of metal. It's got a groove in it that you can put an O-ring in, and then that basically makes the knob itself, the actual knob that you turn, fit onto that shaft, and it becomes friction fit because of the O-ring. Those O-rings are not present, so there is basically no friction, so you can't fit the knobs correctly. So we're waiting for some of those to arrive as well. And then once those have arrived, I will then go through all of the orders and install the ribbon cables and the O-rings and check the door-to-board PCBs, and then I can ship them. That's where we're at right now. All of the orders are sorted. I have a massive stack of them getting in Mel's way downstairs of all of the boards, and they've all got their extra parts together and all sort of stuff like that. So there's that to do, and then once that's gone through, I then need to sit down and do a full price breakdown analysis cost of that project, because I'm pretty sure we are so far in the negatives with it that I need to have a serious chat with Haverworks about it. So yeah. Did the boxes explode or something? No, the boxes didn't explode. It's just been a long time. Maybe the knobs are made of cheese. But that reminds me of that kids film when I was from the 90s, Fievel Goes West, and the streets are made of cheese. Do you remember that? Or am I just making that up? I don't know. Sean Wentz, hey man, good to see you, my dude. Lazy Keiko's here as well. Filio Fish says, you bought anything in the Black Friday sales, Jay? Personally, I don't think I have. I bought some washers, so this is so far removed from work or PT, but Mel asked me to fix her TV wall mount a couple of days ago. So someone had knocked it and ripped part of the mount off the wall, so I took it off the wall, removed all of the old mounts, cleaned it all up, filled it all in, drilled new mounting holes, and put new raw plugs in the wall that will hold the weight of the TV, and then realised that the screws I have for those raw plugs need washers on to be able to accommodate the actual frame for the TV itself, the actual bracket that sits on the wall, and I had no washers, so I had to order some washers for that. They are the only thing that I'm aware of that I bought this weekend. Other than that, I can't think of anything. I did spend money though, because we went to the farm shop yesterday and that cost me a small fortune on meat and things for the freezer, so yeah. I love Factory Smell, not gonna lie. Check out the Titan switches at Sneakbox, they're huge. Okay. It was just the last 2 days. What was the last 2 days? Wait, what? What was the last 2 days? Oh, you sending me this silly coffee memes? Well, it's made it feel like that. Not factory loot, it's passed for me. Fair. Do I need to tap the terms of service sign? For what, Matt? I'm not sure what you mean there. Knob shaft, I'm overstimulated and I'm unable to generate a succinctly innuendo message. Nice one. Telvin, good evening, my dear. I hope you're doing well. Was being sarcastic. It's a super cool looking project. I don't know what you guys... Are you talking about the giant switches? All the mention of knobs and shafts. Well, technically we're talking about technology and not anything rude, so I think it's fine. Streets are made of cheese, you found it? Nice. Yeah, I do remember that. I should probably not play Disney, if it is Disney. Cool. I thought it was 1994 it came out, not 1986. I don't know why. Maybe I just saw it in 1994. Yeah. Oh, Fievel Goes West was the sequel then. Clearly. American Tail must have been the first one, and Fievel Goes West must have been the second one. But yeah, okay. Oh, is Matt Twitch staff? Oh, I got you. I've got you. Fair. I did not know Matt was Twitch staff, but congratulations, Matt. Well done. I don't really look at logos, so on OBS I have the logo thing turned off, so I can't really see people's logos. So I don't see chat the same way that you guys see it, unless I switch over to the Twitch view, which I have over here, which actually still tells me I'm starting soon. It hasn't actually refreshed. I will just check that is all working. Yeah, okay, that is all working. But yeah, so it's just one of those things. Have I watched the F1 race yet? Yes, I was watching the F1 earlier on today. Quick F1 roundup. I am concerned for McLaren next week, or whenever the next race is. Weekend after next. Yeah, I'm very concerned for McLaren. Right, let's start with some PT news then, because there's a few things I need to tell you about. Our last shipment is pretty much all done. The only last thing that we need to ship out now are the remaining Zoom TKL Dyna boards, or Dina, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. There's only a small number of orders left to ship. They should probably ship on Monday or Tuesday, depending on how we get through the in-stock orders over the weekend. Our Black Friday sale has been significantly more... it's had significantly more interest than I expected it to. So let's walk through that, and I can kind of do the whole shill thing at the same time. Let me turn on my browser so you guys can see. Right. So where's the Black Friday? So this year I didn't want to do Black Friday. If you're interested in why I didn't want to do Black Friday, there is under here you can read about it. So this is my article on why I hate Black Friday, basically. I just got really angry about Black Friday and everything it stands for whilst I was creating the order. So you can read about my thoughts on Black Friday if you want to on the blog. I did post that there. But this year, rather than do like a true Black Friday thing, I wanted to do a white on Black Friday, because white on black is kind of the staple of key sets. It's a key set that everyone should own. So if we're going to do something for Black Friday, let's make it really meaningful. Let's do a bit of a play on words, and let's make white on black, which is the most, prolific colorway we have in keyboards, maybe with the exception of beige, and just do something really fun for that. So that's what we did. Basically, I went through the entire stock that we had and put 40%, which is huge for us, because it basically means that everything that you buy in the sale is then, we're selling it at a loss. Like, we're not making any money. We are basically paying you to take it away from us. That's how low 40% makes it on us. But 40% off white on black key sets, so that everyone can have a really nice white on black key set, whether you want the polished ones or you want the really new cap from Keyreative and Kapowaz, or whether you want just ABS or PBT, or whether you want PBT dye sub, or something a little bit more funky like Retro Darklights 2 or DCS keycaps, or even CAM. Some GMKs are in there. I even put in Cat Monochrome and SA Spectra as well, just for fun. So 40% off all of our white on black key sets, because, I think it's something that everyone should have. As well as that, we'll also do it, and this is live until 9 a.m. on Monday, or 8 a.m. on Monday, something like that. So you've got like 12 hours left to order. We're also doing buy one, get one free on in-stock desk mats. Just add 2 desktop mats to your cart, the cheapest one's free. And if you buy more than 100 switches, you can get 20% off as well. So if you buy more than 10 packs of 10, because we sell switches in packs of 10, if you order 100 switches or 10 packs, you will get 20% off your switch order. And you can stack those into your cart as well if you want to, so that you can stack those and that will all work. And that's live until Monday. So yeah, there we go. Demotex, thank you very much for posting the link to the blog. The original title, I was telling Mel, the original title wasn't The Heat Death of the Universo for Black Friday. It was I would rather have an angry adult activity than Black Friday sometimes. So that was the original title, but I didn't think that was publicizable, so we went with this. But anyway, that's what we did for White on Black Friday. Other than that, things that I want to tell you about on the store, live pre-orders. The QK65 Mark III is now live. So I know people keep saying that these boards are, we have Matrix at home, and they do smack of that whole kind of Matrix design, especially when you look on the rear. They do feel very Matrixy, like the Noose keyboard that I built the other week. It does feel very Matrixy, tools and toys kind of inspired. But these are really cool in their own right as well. So I've been really hyped for this board. I'm excited for it. I love this little detail on the side here. I think it's really, really cool. I do really like the layout and the design of it. I think that they're pretty cool and pretty special. And I really like the rear weights as well, because they've got little pooches on. And I'm a huge fan of these little badges. Again, I get that it's very Matrixy, and I get that these kind of screens are very cutesy and not for everyone. I think it's a really cool little project. CYL RNG is now live, bright oranges. Who wouldn't want that? Monochrome Dolch, Dolch Cadet, 2 versions of Dolch. You can also pick up Nerve-Wrecker. The CU80 keyboard kit is in pre-order right now, but that ends tomorrow as well. And then you've got all of the other ones too. That I need to remove. So have a look at those. In terms of live group buys, so group buys are slightly different. We haven't paid it in advance for these, so pre-orders we've already paid for production. They're already happening, and they are there until they sell out, or until our allocation for those sells out. Group buys are open. You can order as many as you want. So we've got GMK Coniferous. I think this is actually round 3, because I remember it running twice before, but it does have UK ISO in base. So I'm hoping that the UK ISO green lovers will be stepping up and purchasing this, because it's one of the best green sets that's ever been done. There is a dark alpha option if you would like that as well. And there's some really cool Coniferous novelties this time around. But I technically think this is technically round 3, even though it's not called that. But it looks so good. It's just a beautiful, beautiful set. So please consider, please pick it up if you want to. Of course, there's Cherry Love from Captain Mike, which is probably the nicest red set we've done in a long time. Pompeii's there as well if you want something a little bit different, a little bit cool. And then in terms of in-stock stuff, we've also dropped a load of stuff in stock recently that you should take a look at. Why is the website being funky? Why is the website being really funky? PCB snaps, we've dropped those in stock, and stub stems, the Matrix Noose keyboards, which I'm using on my desk today, this one over here. MT New copper, so if you want copper, MT New, great set, all in stock. Dolch R5 is now in stock, so you can get Seawell Dolch ready to ship, and we've got the BAE enters that match it perfectly as well in stock, so you can pick those up too. There's Neo keyboards in stock, Neo 65s, Neo 75s, split palm rests, the Reverie keyboard from James at AKB, Neo 80s are in stock, PBS Galaxy, Liberty Walk by Konbini, the Desmat and pre-built keyboards are all available now as well if you're into that. Neo Ergos, MW Reel to Reel. There's still a Seal keyboard kit left, I think, at least one. You know, just tons of really cool stuff. So please do check out all of that stuff and maybe buy things, because, you know, keeps us going. Keeps us going. Okay. So, now I've done the shilling. Oh, also, go buy some coffee, because, you know, coffee's great and it's the lifeblood of society. So go buy some coffee too. Okay, now I've done the shilling. Let's catch up with chat. I feel bad for my Black Friday question now. What was your Black Friday question, Philly? Did I miss that? Apologies if I did. I'm just, like, the thing with Black Friday is it was a retail holiday designed to make people spend money. That's what it was. And most of the big companies like Amazon, what they will do is they'll spend time a couple of months before prepping for it, putting prices up gradually so people don't realize a pound here, a pound there, a dollar here, a dollar there. And then when they drop them, it looks like a deal and people will buy it. I don't have the time or the resources to start increasing my prices incrementally across the whole store for everything we have in stock, just so I can give people a discount. And that's technically illegal as well. Like, that's against trading standards, rules and regulations and all of that kind of thing. So it's not something I want to do. And I'm not against giving people a deal, but as a small company, we run on really low margins, like really small margins. And giving those margins away and not having them just to feel like we're actually acceptable, and like there's a whole pressure on small retailers that if you're not doing something for Black Friday, you're getting left behind. You are throwing caution to the wind and saying we're not involved, and then people will just ignore you for like 3 weeks before and across the bank holiday weekend and then into early December. Which is kind of like a really difficult time, because it's the time when you need to be selling product, because it's the festive period, and that's when retail stores are expected to do well, and it's when you're expected to see revenue happen. And when you don't, then people like the bank managers get on and your accountants start asking questions. So, you know, there's a whole expectation on small businesses to try and live under this cosh of having to do something and having to perform for Black Friday, and consumers expect it. And it does small businesses so little favors, because you end up having to give stock away. And that's why I wanted to do something a little bit different this year. But I hope that makes sense. Fun that Coniferous has U9 as the base alpha color. You don't often see that. Yeah, that's because if I remember rightly, when the first round ran, they looked at a couple of different color options, but GMK wasn't doing custom colors back then, and you could only have stock colors. So they had to pick from the stock colors, I think. You picked up the cat white on black set. Nice. As Black Friday gets worse and worse, I hope it dies. I don't see Black Friday dying. I see it becoming less relevant, and I think it's less relevant now than it was 2 or 3 years ago. Like the pressure on us to do things 2 or 3 years ago was significantly more than it is now. Especially small retailers. Maybe for the big, like I don't shop on Black Friday. Like, I don't really pay attention to it. I just see that I get a ton of emails and I don't really do anything about it, to be quite honest with you. Because if I'm going to support a small business, I'm going to support, usually they're my friends or people that I know that also run small businesses. I'm going to support them when their prices are at full price, because that's just how I feel about it. I want to, you know, I like if someone's doing something for me, let's say I get a friend in to help me tile and he says, oh, I'll do it for you for mates rates. It's like, no, charge me full freaking price, dude. Like you're my friend. The best I can do to be your friend is support you in full and pay you in full. And like that mentality is really nice between a lot of vendors in the hobby and a lot of companies that are kind of adjacent to this kind of hobby, but it's not too prevalent in the rest of the world, I think. So yeah. Not the accountant, anything but the accountant asking questions. He asks questions all the time. He sent me he literally on Saturday evening, which I don't know why he was doing this, but he sent me the VAT return for this quarter, which is astronomical again, and way more money than I should be spending on VAT, I'm sure, but I'm sure he's done it right. If I may ask, did you take a loan to run your business? What was the thought process? Prototypist has never had any loans or any finance at all. So no, basically. I've self-funded PT, so
Tasty.
PT was an idea of mine long before I actually started it, and luckily I used to be in a high-paying job. I've gone nearly 6 years without a salary now, so that's not quite looking so sharp as it used to. But I used to be in a really well-paid job, and that gave me the fortuity to be able to start a company and have some capital to be able to invest in the company. But so, Prototypist these days is pretty self-sufficient. I just don't take a salary because I feel like that would be, one, disingenuous to the community that supported us for so long, and two, I feel like my challenge to create myself a salary is something I should do personally. So yeah, Alex Otos, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for dropping in with the raid. I thoroughly appreciate that. But yeah, 3D Keycap, back to your question. The thought process was back at the time when we started PT in 2019. So I actually wanted to start PT. Here's the full story. I started streaming around 2015, so 10 years ago now. And at the time, I think there was me, Lightning, and Teha Types, and we were the only kind of like keyboard streamers. Wodan occasionally, which maybe a name you're familiar with or not, I don't know. And this, so 2015, then 2017 kind of came around, and Top Clack was massive. And towards the back end of 2018, Huey left Top Clack, and Brian asked me to join instead because he'd seen what I did on Twitch. So I joined Top Clack. We did that for a few years, and at the same sort of time, around the start of 2018 to the back end of 2018, I knew that I wanted to start a keyboard company. And the reason for it was because I wanted to buy all of this cool stuff, and it just wasn't available in the UK. You had to import it from America, from China, from Singapore, Korea, places like that. And you'd end up getting hit by massive taxes. Nothing was ever in stock. We'd have 4 or 5 people clubbed together to buy a GMK set and order it from the US vendor, and then they'd distribute it in the UK because there was no UK vendor. And I started to, because of Top Clack, I started to know all of these vendors on like a really personal basis. It was like, there's a huge gap in the market for PT. I did speak to some of the vendors that were in the UK market at the time and offered them basically an opportunity, an investment vehicle, said, look, I want to come along. Here's my contacts. Here's all the stuff I can do. Here's some money. Do you want me to join the company as kind of like a, some sort of like advisor type role, some type of contracting type role, and I'll give you some capital and we'll try and get all of this stuff in. And no one really wanted to do that at the time, so I just thought, well, I'll just do it myself. And the original plan was to launch Prototypist in early 2019. And unfortunately that didn't happen. So I was speaking with one creative mind around this time. You might know him. He was a designer. He actually designed the logo for us. So I gave him the brand name. I gave him the kind of like font style that I wanted to use, and he could then tidied it up, because it's not the font is I forgot the name of it, but it's a certain font, but he's kind of tweaked it a little bit as well. And that all happened in late 2018, early 2019. And then sadly, my mum was a bit sick, and she passed away in March 2019, which is kind of when the business was supposed to launch originally. And then I was in Seattle for a Top Clack stroke Seattle meetup. And the big thing about that was that it was supposed to be a trip for me to meet some of the vendors face to face, some of the American companies who become my suppliers, like Mike from Novel Keys and Andrew from Canon Keys and all of those other people. So I did go on that trip, but like I just wasn't in a state of mind where I could start the company properly at that point. Like I just needed some time and some space. I was still pretty upset. I was still pretty low, and I still had my day job at this point as well. So I kind of like pushed back the whole thing by about 6 months, and then on the 1st of November 2019, I'd kind of like kicked out the cobwebs from my brain and bump started everything, and that's when the company started. So yeah. Silly Mellow, hey man, good to see you. I'm a buy vintage keys, love the idea, and hi. Hey man, thanks for being here, and yeah, please do buy them. Please, vintage keys is a great group buy. Thinking about getting the Ode grinder for pour over for Black Friday? Do it, man. The Ode grinders are great. Kaboom Mommy, hey man, good to see you. Sinister Silkiness as well. ICQ as well is here. Thanks very much, guys. OCM the Go. Yeah, One Creative Mind was really, really cool. I haven't spoken to him in years now. I hope he's doing well. We just kind of lost touch for a while, but he did. We kind of like I remember I sent him a PowerPoint page with kind of like all of the ideas I had for Prototypist. This must have been 2018. And I picked a few different things and some fonts. What is the name of the font we use? It's going to bug me if I don't. Pardal, that's it. It's called Pardal. I'll put it in chat. There we go. Because we had to pay for the license for it and stuff like that. But that's the font that you see in the branding and the logo and stuff. So yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy, but that's the story of how PT started, and it's now 6 years and 1 month tomorrow that we've been going, which is just insane. If you just told me 6 years ago this is where we'd be, and I would not have believed you. Most are doing well out of the hobby, but comes to me up from time to time. Good, I'm glad to hear it. I might have to drop him a message and see if he's okay, and reminisce about some old times. Are you a big font guy, Jay? What is it about Pardal that you liked? So when you look at the actual PT logo, what I wanted was, hold on, let me do this. So when you look at the PT logo, can I do this? Will this work? Yeah, okay, kind of. Right, okay, so what I wanted was a logo that I could have something that was really kind of delicate, because in my mind, prototypes, and it was all a play on word, like prototyping, prototypist, because you type at a keyboard, right? That's the kind of like idea behind it. And proto meaning kind of like early or new or young or first or something like that. But I wanted something like really delicate for the proto bit, and something that could be really kind of like almost like fine lined, you know, elegant almost. And something that looks really good and really even in like a lowercase. And kind of Pardal just spoke to me on that, because it's got kind of like the little kick on the P, and you know, it looks really, really even. And this is the italic bit of the font. I think One Creative Mind fixed a little bit of the kerning issues for me and stuff like that, just to neaten it up a touch, because originally it was a little bit more spread out than this, so he tightened that up a little bit. And then for the typist, I wanted it to be the same font, but I wanted it to be able to have something that was a little bit more bold and something a little bit more substance. And for the typist part, for me, it had to I wanted it to look like a stamp. The reason it's got the square brackets is because I wanted it to look like a stamp, like, you know, a stamp of approval kind of thing, but in a little bit more abstract way. And that's why we do it on the small form PT logo on my chest as well. The T is always in the square brackets. I did try to have that officially in the company name, but different platforms like Companies House do allow it, and then the government tax thing doesn't allow it, which is really backwards. Anyway, that's a different thing. But it was supposed to look like a stamp and kind of like have that kind of like block around it, and that was kind of like the idea from that. And the square brackets just really fit with the whole idea of keeping it into a font. And that was One Creative Mind's idea. Like originally I just had a block drawn around, like a box drawn around it, and he was like, why don't we just use the font and we'll keep it nice and square and blocked and even. And originally, although the company was called Prototypist Keyboards, we were just going to have Prototypist. We weren't going to have the keyboards underneath. And sometimes when you see a logo, it will just be the Prototypist. It doesn't have the keyboards bit underneath. I swear there is a bit under here that says keyboards, if you can see that there. And for that, again, we wanted to use the same font, but we didn't want to have the italics of the first bit, and we didn't want to have the bold blockiness of the second bit. But we wanted something that, again, was fine line, but was still straight text and not italicized and not bolded, but would also fit if it was kind of like done in a small font. And it had to fit between the P and the end of the block. That was kind of like the key. Play on words there, for the word keyboards. It had to kind of fit in that block. And I tried maybe 30 or 40 different fonts that offered different weights and italicized fonts and everything else. And I think Pardal was the only one that really, I mean, I'm sure there's others out there that if I went back and did it now, I'd have a different opinion on. But Pardal was the only one that kind of really fit all of those delicate proto kind of vibes, the stamp thick typist, you know, the kind of like Bosch, I'm a typist kind of thing, and then having the keyboards text underneath. So that was kind of like the thinking behind it. I'm sure I've talked about that on stream before, but yeah, I hope that helps. Slab serif with tall X height feels solid yet approachable. Yeah, I mean, like we can start talking about serifs and sans serifs and things like that, and Pardal is kind of like one of the interesting fonts that is kind of serify but doesn't feel serify in a way. Like you look at the T in the proto part and it's kind of like sans serif, but you look at the P and it's just got, I don't know if there's like a terminology for this. I'm not too into fonts, but it's kind of like a semi-serif, I guess. I don't know it, but that's just my head. And then you look at the kind of like the bolder letters and the capitals, and they all are like serifs, but kind of like blocky. Anyway, there was I don't know. It just spoke to me. But I'm glad that you guys like it. Jabronis, I'm glad that you find it approachable. Yeah, that was kind of like the idea. It was supposed to be fun and friendly and blocky. It's actually really... If you guys have ever read Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, there's a bit in that where it says... Where Arthur Dent finds the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for the first time. And as he's looking at the Hitchhiker's Guide, Douglas Adams describes it as saying in big friendly text, and that's kind of what I see in a Pardal font. Like it's comfortable and friendly, but I imagine some people find it kind of obtuse and kind of firm. So yeah, 42, absolutely, yeah. Proto Vibes, definitely the name for a music channel. Jay runs, maybe. I don't think I'd use Proto for anything else. Like there's another thing that I'm doing at the minute, which my father-in-law is trying to convince me to do as a sideline instead of look for another job, which I don't know. Like, he is really impressed with the arcade cabinet I built, and I'm a little bit upset with it because there's things that I know I did wrong on it. But he's like really impressed with the arcade cabinet that I built. And to be fair, it was a bit of work. Like I designed the whole thing, had it in CAD, had it made out of MDF board. I had the artwork done. I've installed the artwork and kind of wired it all up myself. And I kind of need to undo some things to redo some things because of things I don't like. But he's like, oh, you should make Jay's Arcades, and it's like, that could be really fun as like a sideline business. And he's like, oh, I'll assemble all the cabinets for you. You just do the circuitry and put the stickers on it. And it's like, okay, that could be really fun. And the other really fun thing about that is if you've ever watched some of my favorite films, the Tron movies, in that there's kind of like a Flynn's arcade. Well, my surname is Flynn, F-L-Y-N. I actually have funnily enough, I have the Tron arcade t-shirt on today. It says Flynn's on it, which is just by sheer happen chance. But he's trying to convince me to do that, so I don't think I'd use the proto kind of thing in kind of like another business. Like Jay's Roastery is very much coffee based, and I didn't think it fit for that. I can't remember the name of the font we used for Jay's Roastery. The logo is hand drawn. I can't remember what font we used on the website though. I think it's just a basic font. I just wanted something that was easy to read on that. I don't even know what font it is, but yeah, there's that as well. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do Jay's Arcades. We'll see. Quanta, good evening, good sir. Thanks for being here. Women, try and find yourself a man who talks about you the way that Jay talks about Pardal. Maybe. I couldn't even remember its name a few minutes ago. So when are we traveling to the Magic Kingdom to ride the Tron Light Cycle? And dude, like, I was supposed to be in Florida this time last year for like 2 weeks, and I couldn't be out there for the 2 weeks in the end, and I only got 2 days out there, plus a day either side traveling. And one of the few things we didn't get to do was Magic Kingdom, but we did pretty much everything else. But that was the only thing I wanted to go to Magic Kingdom for, was the Tron Light Cycle ride. But yeah, I didn't get to see Magic Kingdom, unfortunately. Frankie, hey man, good to see you. Rob says pics of the arcade machine. I don't have any to hand. If you tag me in Discord on Ask Jay, I will take some after I finish streaming. I unfortunately I can't take the camera down there as well because it's in the workshop, but it's Final Fantasy VII themed, and I've had Tifa up one side, and it's a sit-down arcade bar, not a stand-up arcade machine. It's a sit-down arcade bar machine for 2 players, and it has like a stool with it and stuff as well. It's got Tifa on one side and Aerith on the other side, and then the front kind of like has a cubby panel with 2 doors open out, and that's got the city of Midgar on it across both the cupboard doors, and then Inside it's got the PC and everything else. And then on the top, there's kind of like the arcade control panel, and there's another like cupboard that's on the top that kind of lifts up, which is where light guns and controllers are going to be stored when I cut the foam for it. And that's kind of got the power reactor of reactor 1 from Final Fantasy VII in Midgar across there, the 3 big kind of exhaust ports for it. And then on the control panel, if you remember the original 1997 Final Fantasy VII menu screen, it was kind of like shaded from light blue to dark blue diagonally across the screen, and then you would have circles for your materia. So what we've done is I had custom artwork done for this, and the switches around the buttons, so the buttons are all RGB, they're like different colors, and around the buttons I've created, had the artist create circles that look like the materia circles, so it kind of like looks all like the materia circles. And then we have kind of like, instead of for where the player coin and start buttons are, it says items with the kind of like block around that. And then I've etched acrylic that lays over the top, which has so the designs where there's text, I've etched that into the acrylic as well, so that when the RGBs are turned on, the acrylic lights up and the text lights up as well. And that's kind of like all neatly aligned, although I do need to change a couple of bits and pieces, but it's really cool. I'm genuinely happy with it, or 95% happy with it. There's things I want to change, there's some things I want to update, and that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, if anyone wants to see the arcade machine, and it's got like chrome trim all around it, like T-trim on all of the sharp edges and stuff like that, and I did all the wiring myself. I put RGB sticks into it, and there's hidden recessed USB ports, and I've got an Arcudia monitor coming for it. It's just got a TV on it at the minute, but it's going to have an Arcudia 43-inch monitor, and these are kind of like really, really cool arcade designed monitors. They're proper new kind of OLED displays, but they're designed to emulate that kind of old CRT kind of look and feel, which is really cool. And genuinely, I'm super happy with it. It's got 100,000 games on it, whatever, up to PS2. I think it's got everything ever released for every arcade. It's really good fun. I just need to go through and actually get it to work a little bit better, because I haven't finished. Like, I want to take all the buttons out and change them, because I bought 2 different types of buttons and I don't like the buttons that are in it, so I want to change them, but that means rewiring everything. So I'm going to do that this week, and then I can go through and code all of the games so that the controls work for it. But yeah, you can basically play anything that's ever been released for an arcade on it, VRugDush. You can play anything up to PS2. So it emulates every single console, whether you want to play Amstrad, or you want to play Atari, or you want to play Nintendo, or whatever. It has everything basically up to that. I think there's 100,000 plus games, maybe 120,000 games. I don't know. I will never play them all, but I've played a few on it, and it's always really good fun. But like, I just need to finalize the control settings and stuff. There's like some like when you use VIA to control your keyboard, there's kind of like the equivalent for the sticks for that and the buttons, and I just need to go through and make sure everything's sorted, because some games work and some games don't right now. So yeah, CD32 are on there, Amiga 1200's on there. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really good fun, and I can't wait to finish it. I just haven't, with our last shipment coming, I haven't had the time to dedicate to it, but I think it needs about 5 more hours worth of work. Yeah, and I did mess up some bits like the T-trim. I was knocking in, and I kind of knocked it at a weird angle and destroyed the T-trim channel, so I've had to glue some bits of it. So I need to just tidy that up, because that's taped on until the glue dried. So I need to peel all the tape off and stuff, but yeah, it is pretty cool, and I'm really, really happy with it. It was at the open day, so anyone who came to the open day will have seen it. It was tucked into a corner. But yeah, it's really cool, and it just needs the new monitor to come when it arrives. But I've sneakily snuck that into PT's next shipment from China, because it's the arcade machine. The arcade monitor was made in China, so yeah. Right. So that's basically a foray into the fact that Jay's Arcades may be a thing ultimately, although they'll be really heavy and difficult to ship, but who knows, you know? Maybe that's something that people want. If someone wants a cool arcade machine and you like the look of mine, maybe drop me a message. The next one's going to have like a slide out drawer for a really cool keyboard and mouse that's going to go under it, but yeah. Godzilla Waddle, thank you so much for 18 months of subs, dude. That's a long time. Thank you so much for that. I have the Tiger version of the desk mat. Don't have it on my desk yet. Yeah, I have this version and the Tiger version. I think both are still in stock on the website as well, Dream Gelly. So well done. Congratulations. Right. Okay. So I think I've talked about everything. I've given you all the PT news. We're basically up to date with everything apart from Black Friday sales orders, which will start shipping out tomorrow. We do have a lot of them. I don't think we're going to get through them in one day. So just bear in mind that we might be a little bit behind our normal quick shipping until maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we'll be fully up to date. The Theseuses will ship as soon as all the parts arrive, which should be in the next couple of days. And please do buy on the store because, you know, you guys are supporting us and keeping us going, which is always great. Okay. I'm going to finish my coffee before it gets cold because I've been streaming nearly an hour now and it's tepid at best. Okay, coffee done. Let's put that to one side. Right. Someone earlier on asked to see. Oops, still sharing my browser. Don't want to be doing that. Someone asked earlier on wanted to see. That was a lot lighter than I was expecting because I've had my cloud line on the desk for so long, which is stupidly heavy. I just picked up the Matrix Noose and it was just so much lighter than I was expecting. Anyway. SA Blackest Black, which I do have on a keyboard, which is here. This is the Class 65. So this is SA Blackest Black. And you might be asking or wondering what's so cool about it. Well, it's SA keycaps sans legends. It has no legends on it. Let me turn off one of the streamlights just to make it a little bit darker. Let's just turn that one off. Right, okay. So this is SA Blackest Black. No legends. Really nice and black. But we also have a black light, which basically gives off black light vibes. And with SA Blackest Black, which was supposed to be for just 20 people, I think they made 25 sets in total, for 20 people, but I have seen that SP is selling these or might have sold out of them. But when you run a black light over it, all of a sudden, legends appear. And you can actually see what you're typing. So yeah, so this was never supposed to be sold, but kind of smarts on the fact that it was available for sale after we were told it was special for just people who've been voted for. I was really lucky to be voted for, so thank you to anyone who did vote for me with SP. I think Glass has got a copy here in the UK as well. There are legends on here as well. The camera doesn't always pick them up. So it's really cool. It's really fun. And that's SA Blackest Black. So you can, it's not really picking up on camera. Like I can see the legends just from this distance, but you can kind of only see them if I'm up here. But yeah, it's pretty cool. The set did why are there splatters on there? There's no splatters. 0 splatters. You might find some on the desk map because I did cut myself on here the other day. Although blood doesn't show up with it apparently under black light. In fact, I'll show you. Zoom you. So this is a blood mark here, but it doesn't really show up under black light. It just. But yeah, there's no splatter marks. Sorry to disappoint. That's not what this desk is for. The key set did come with the black light. So you say not everyone has a black light. It came with the black light. SH is on black. Nice. Just zoom out a touch more. There we go. That's about right. That'll do. That'll do. Not everyone should have a black light. No, not everyone should, but it does come with one. It does come with one. Wasn't this set a giveaway or for sale? I don't remember now for 2024 Black Friday SP. No, it wasn't for Black Friday. It was for content creators who were voted for by viewers and SP fans. So I was very, very lucky to be one of those people. So yeah. If there's any splatters, they're not from Jay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who else. Well, I'm not sure who else is using my desk. Nick has used my office, which I'm well aware of. I still put gloves on whenever I want to touch the long boy. But yeah. So yeah, that's the SA Blackest Black. I can't remember who asked to see it, but there you go. Right, today we are building a keyboard for Matt Vo, who is in chat, who is also Twitch staff, which I learned today. And yeah, I did buy myself something, but not in the Black Friday sale. I bought it off the store. I bought myself a set of Necocino because it's coffee based and it's lovely. And I've been meaning to buy myself a set for a while. So yeah, I bought myself a set. And I took the set that was damaged as well off the shelf rather than a new set. But go buy Necocino because it's a great set and it's a lovely colourway. So I did buy myself something. Oh, here's the Tiger Mat, because someone said, do you have the Tiger Mat? I do. Right. So, was SA Blackest Black a Will thing? It was, yeah. I just need to be careful here because I have written the customer's order number on these, but these are the switches. These are Gateron Mint Smoothies. That's what we're going to be building today. Luminol used to highlight blood, react to iron. Yeah, I like it. It's the smallest little. I got jabbed with a switch, so it's the smallest little mark. That's not really working. I'm just trying to make a little ball for the switches. There we go. Sterling killed it with that set. Yeah, he did with Nekachino. It's a really good set. The orange is just like the right shade for like autumnal tones. It's really nice. Makes sense that they maybe deviated from it being exclusive. And yeah, I think they had like 5 sets a bit left around, so they just sold them. I get it. I understand it. Mint smoothies are a lovely switch. Yeah, they're really nice. If you like a silent switch, these are probably the best on the market right now. Okay, the customer also did buy some keycaps at the time. So this is EPBT Camo, which is the keycaps we'll be putting on the board at the end of the build. Here is the customer's board. So this is all brand new. We haven't opened it yet, so we're going to open the pull tab. And I do feel bad for taking this part away from the customer. Some tape. Let's just do that. Well, if you buy them today, ZBC, before tomorrow morning, and you buy 100 of them, you will get 20% off, because 10 packs of 10 switches is currently 20% off in our Black Friday sale. Okay. So here is the package that the board comes in. Everyone loves a good package. It's a really nice case colour. Oh, it's hugely heavy. So we have PCBs and plates, which we will need. We also have wrist rests. We'll get these out just for the build, so you can see it at the end. But then we'll put them away for the customer. And then we have some additional parts that the customer ordered: a knob and some fixings. And then here we have the keyboard itself, which is super cool. Look how nice this is set up. So you have the little box, and then we have the left-hand side, this beautiful silver colorway, PVD goodness on the base. We have the right side. Accessories pack. So it's nice to have all this laid out. It's a really good carry case for this. It is a really nice colour. It's kind of got like a texture to it as well, like a texture pattern. I know the camera doesn't like it from a distance, but you can kind of see the texture patterns in it. It's just really nice. Fun to see some EPBT. That's a blast from the past. Yeah, it doesn't sell particularly well these days. Okay, so what do we have here? We have some rubber gaskets and feet and the light pads for the diodes, which we'll need. We have some feet for the boards. I think they might be spares because I'm pretty sure they're installed. And we have the gaskets. We also have the cable, which we don't... Well, we'll keep it out actually because we might need the cables for this. And then we also have the connector cables as well. So we'll keep all of it out for now actually, and then we can use it as needed. Was there ever an update on able to buy more cables? We're still waiting for news on that from QK directly, so I don't know is the honest answer. But it's such a cool board because you can move the halves around however you want, and you can type on them. And you kind of have like the block there, That's super nice, super cool. So first things first, we're going to put the board to one side because we don't need it just yet, including the little knob and screen. Little extras. And we have that piece of like that. Actually, I'm just going to throw down my waffle cloth here. I did lay out all my tools nicely today. I don't usually do this, but I figured I should, just to prep a little bit better than I normally do. As a customer build, I feel like I have to be a bit more professional. Okay. So we have some stabilizers. Not sure what's in there, but we'll open in a second. And then we have our PCBs and plates. So we have FR4 plate. So that's for both sides. Nice. And then we have our PCBs, which are packaged and folded nicely as well. Let's unpack these. I like how they've heat sealed the middle of the pack here, so it is 2 pouches. It's kind of a nice little touch. Okay, let's figure out what we've got here then. This is this side, and this is this side. Nice. Not sure what this is. Oh, it's a large diffuser. We'll keep that to one side. I'm not quite sure what that's for, but we'll figure it out. And then in here we should have the light pipes for the plates. And that's for underneath the port. And we also have some screws. Let's grab a little tray and put all of our screws and spare bits in there. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the light pipes into the plate. So these parts here are basically so that the LEDs shine through, and you install them into the plate. I'm just going to grab the build guide just to make sure I put these in the right way around. Yeah, okay. So then we need to install these in the plate, and they basically just push through. The image is not very clear on this. They basically just push through and then sit on the underside of the plate like so. He says struggling to get them to install like that. Love this board as well. Yeah. Oh, for adjusting the tenting. Nice. I don't trust links from Reed. He's sent me some very upsetting things recently. I don't trust links from Reed. On a keyboard I have with foams, this one is definitely some. Yeah. I think we'll build it with full foams, and then the customer can decide if they want to remove foams later on. can see. Whoops, that one doesn't want to stay in. Oh man, where did that go? Right here. So he's just sit in the plate, just like so. Is that one a better size for it? Is that what it is? Yeah, they're the same size. We'll just have to be careful with those as we put them in. I'll do the other side now. Hey man, good to see you. Go and the diffuser for there as well, just so we get the nice RGBs later on. Okay, we have some spares, we'll just pop to one side. Cool. Okay, next job is to figure out how we're going to lay out the two halves and which foams we're going to use. Now, I think this board does sound better with foams, so we'll put all of the foams in for the customer. And effectively what we're going to do is we're going to figure out where this needs to lay over the top. You can see it needs to be something like that. And then we will trim out the foams where we need to, or the PE sheet, sorry, where we need to make sure that the stabilizers can sit. Okay, so we're using full backspace on this one, so we need to trim here. I'll show you this a bit closer. So need to trim along that dotted line there, that dotted line there, same for there and there. This one's fine to keep as is, we don't need to trim this one out. Don't need to trim that one out, but we do need to trim the left shift out as well. So I'm just going to use flush cutters for that. Pop those to one side for now. Just going to take flush cutters and we're just going to trim out the sections that we need to. Just like so in that piece, and then we'll just do this side as well. Go. We are now ready to install our stabilizers into the board. So let's lube and assemble those. These are just the stock stabilizers that come with the board. We need the box for it, so we get rid of the box. We do have some spares, so we're going to need one stabilizer. We're going to need 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to lube these with 205, XHT BDZ. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop the wires out first of all, and then we'll reassemble them once we've lubricated the wires. He says, trying to pop the wire out without breaking anything. So much more complicated than Neo Ergo. No, I mean, like, if you can build the Neo Agni, you can build this. There's just a little bit more to it. It's not hugely different. Mango Keeps, thank you so much for the raid, man. I really appreciate you being here. Welcome. We're building a QK Duo, Alice QK Duo today. We're just about the point where we're about to loot our stabilizers. I need a bit of trash just to neaten up this. Brush. There we go. The J, the only prototypist. How you doing? I'm not the only prototypist. There is a lot of prototypers out there. Many different industries and fields. But I'm good, man. I hope you're doing well. I'm just going to lubricate these nicely. So all we're doing is just putting a nice amount of lubricant on here. Don't need too much with BDZ, just a nice amount. Thocky keyboards, always thocks, always clacks. Wish I could use split keyboards, love the Duo. Yeah, it takes some getting used to. I built a couple of these when it first came out, but I haven't for a few months now. I can't remember the last time I built one actually. It probably must be 3 or 4 months ago. The receiver is so cool. Yeah, it's a cool little thing. This one done. What were you building today, Mango Keeps? What were you doing today on stream? Anything fun? You always stream just before me, so I always miss what you're doing. I try and catch back up on them, but I don't always get a chance to watch. QK65 Mark III, nice, nice. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier on because the group buy is now live for it, or the pre-order, and it's just a cool. You know, I do really like it. I know that it's very heavily Matrix inspired, and it's kind of like, oh look, here's the Matrix you have at home, but it is really cool, and I do like it. And the Matrix guys seem kind of happy about it as well. They don't seem upset about it. I think that they just like the fact that someone's taking their style and running with it. But it definitely fits the whole tools and toys aesthetic. You missed the extra keys. Fair. Can't hurt Matrix, right? They've got the top end of that style unlocked. I suspect that the Matrix boards will never make as much money as the QK stuff does, no matter how many boards they released, so yeah. As is often the case, the more premium brands are the smaller ones, the smaller companies. Yeah, it's nice to have something different, right, Mango? Like, I'm using the Noose here. This is the one with the pistons in. Not the pistons, the gas struts in. I don't know why I called them pistons. They're not pistons at all. It's not quite as mad as some of their other stuff. Really nice design. I think it's calmer on in terms of like the visual design because there's less things that are, you know, like badges and things like that. But it's absolutely zany and out there in the fact that it uses, you know, gas struts to raise and lower the keyboard and things. Like I think that's the, you know, I know they've been teasing it for like 5 years now, but still, if they're the only people to do it in a production keyboard, as far as I'm aware. I have a pink one and it looks like a slice of strawberry cheese cream cake. Yeah, nice. A packed keyboard. What is the keyboard equivalent of slamming and bagging a car, do you think? Is it using foams? I think it might be, right? Okay, almost there with the stabilizers now. Now we've installed the wires and lubricated them nicely. We're just going to lubricate very, very lightly the slider rails on each side, just to make sure that they move nicely. Not trying to go up the works here, we just want to try and put a small amount of lubricant on them. Almost there now. Then we can install these in the board. Then we can start to put our switches in place. Okay, I'm just going to go turn the other radiator off because it's now getting really warm in here. Be back in a second, guys. There we go, radiator is off, and now I have to regulate the temperature with this radiator, but it is warm in here now, which is good. Right, let's do the, we are going to use all the foams today for the customer, but I'm just going to move the foams to one side whilst we get our stabilizers installed. So these are clip-in stabilizers, which means that once we install them, they will clip down and install nice and flush. We're just going to do that on here, just like so. That's it. That stabilizer is now in place. And the same there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these. And these are basically little wedges that go into the rear of the stabilizer. Now, how the stabilizers work on these boards is they come through like this, and you'll see there's a gap down the middle, and what you're going to like to take them out, you close that gap and it pops back through. To stop that gap closing, we're going to install these tiny little tabs, and we're just going to pop that in, push that into place, and you can see now that that tab is kind of like installed in that gap. This one's empty, and it just stops them being able to close and nip and pinch back through. I'm just going to install that on all of the stabilizers as we go through. This one wants to be a little bit funky. Let's try that again. There we go. And that's the stabilizers on this side installed. Now let's do the ones on the other side. Can't struggle so bad with this bit. There was no help because I was remote and I'd never done clip-ins. I think this is, if you've never done it before, I can understand why it's difficult. Like it does take like a bit of thinking to get your head around why am I doing this? What's the benefit of this? But I think once you've done it once, it's good. Okay, just need to get this one in without trapping the foam. So the foam still moves nicely underneath, which is good. Now we can put the rest of these little tabs in place. He says, I'm dropping them. The only downside of these is they're a little bit fiddly to hold because they're so small. And I've got really chunky fingers comparatively. So I'm not the most delicate when it comes to small objects. I use big chunky pliers and brute force. I find that with pliers I'm less accurate, although I do have some small modelling pliers that I could use for this, but I find that I'm less accurate with pliers when I'm doing this particular job. I don't think there's a tool that I don't have these days, or very, very few. There we go. I'm just going to pop those there, and then we'll just have one bag of spare parts at the end. Okay, let's catch up with chat for a second. I'm sure my vacuum owned half of those tabs now because it went flying at some point. Fair. I think 2 or 3 of my early Neo boards live with half the tab stoppers missing. That's fair as well. I tend to put night stabs in if I'm going to do it, but you know, it is what it is. I love hearing about other people having the same problem. Not that I enjoy other people suffering, but the first time I received their Neo stabs, I gave them the feedback that the tabs were a pain to insert. Yeah, I mean, like other people have done this before. Like I think TX Stabilizers did first, I think. Probably in like 2020 when they first came out, they were the first to have little tabs. But people have been doing this mod using cocktail sticks instead of the little tabs here. We're using cocktail sticks on old Cherry stabilizers since 2012. You used to put a little cocktail stick in there and then stamp them off. So yeah. Right, okay, so now we have our 2 halves of our PCBs done. The next job is to install the foams on top, which I put here. Figure out which way these go. Perhaps I have installed the no, that's correct. Okay, so we just need to figure out which way around these go. That one goes here like so. And we're just going to make sure that that aligns over everything correctly and evenly. And then this one goes around here like so. There we go. Nice. And then what we can do is from here, we can then bring in the plates. I just need to make sure we don't lose these tabs for the light diffusers. And then we're just going to sit that down on top. Just make sure everything lines up. So I'll make sure that we're getting the light diffusers into the foam rather than sitting on top of it, just so we don't get any light bleed. So that looks good on that side. And then we're going to do the same on this side.
Tasty, tasty.
Tasty, tasty. Thank you, Mr. Blackbrook. Subscribe for 42 months. Just making sure that's all visually correct. Plate's lifting up a little bit here. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's just because of the thickness of the tabs. I think we're good there. Okay, great. In the beginning, the universe was created. This made a lot of people very angry. Has been widely regarded as a bad move. A lovely quote from Douglas Abbott for 42 months. Congratulations, dude. I like your blue Snoopy. I already told Alex today. Keebs should have mechanical complications like Swiss watches. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is the Amiga Swatch one. It's not the true Amiga. I wish I had the money for that. It's just the Moon Swatch one. But it is a beautiful watch. I do love it. I have most of the Moon's watches these days, so I'm very, very lucky and spoiled. Right, okay, next job is to install our switches. So I'm just going to do a couple in the center just to get everything aligned correctly. And we're just going to provide support from the rear, because that's what gentlemen do. And just make sure we're getting that in the correct spot. There we go. And that should mean we can then start to install the rest of the switches. Our plate is just deforming a little bit, so I'm going to grab a prising tool and just keep that all nice and even, just like so. Because that's what gentlemen do, good grief. What did I say? Did I say that out loud? What did I say that in reference to? Sorry, Talvin, if I upset someone. What did I say? I don't even know what I said. It clearly just came out. Mr. Joe, thank you so much for being here. I feel like I've upset Talvin. Talvin, I'm sorry if I've upset or offended you. I did not mean to. That was... whatever that turn of phrase was not meant to cause alarm or upset. I apologize. Providing support from the rear. That just came out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was inner demons. Inner demons. I apologize profusely. I'm sorry if that upset you. That was a little bit uncouth of me. I apologize. It's just absolutely terrible innuendo. Yeah, it just came out. It happens sometimes. So effectively, what I've got here is the issue that the switch does not want to sit into the plate because it's quite tight. There we go. So we're just easing them in. Innuendo, something like that. This is getting slightly frustrating. There we go. Terrible innuendos are your speciality. Well, apparently they're mine as well now. I didn't intend for them to be, but you know, such is the way of the world. I do apologise if anyone was upset. If the viewership goes from like, I don't know what it's at, 130 or something, down to like 5, I'll know that my innuendos are bad and should be stopped. Just wiggle it around a bit until I'll be okay. Shh, baby, it's okay. Just want to check the orientation of the pins, just for some of these keys where there's 2 options. My total spend on shipping at PT is now £404. Reed, you're not allowed to complain about shipping. You know the rules. You know the rules. Free shipping not found. That's because you live not in the domestic UK according to courier services. Okay, if you have a problem with it, go take it up with DHL or UPS. Come on, play. Looking forward to the next bottle of gin at the next meetup to cover the complaint. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Reed, what have you got for us next time? I do love gin. I do love gin. I hope gin loves me as much as I love it. Just checking that I'm getting the orientation correct for some of these switches as well, because the pins are alternatively rotated. So if you went for a different layout than what we're doing here today, you might need to change the pin positions. So like I'm having to do for this one. So I have to turn this switch around to get fit. You see this is now north facing instead of south facing. That's because the pins alternate. So we have to make sure it goes into the right one. He says, just double checking. There we go. Sharon would appreciate that Sawbuck gin. Sharon loves gin. We tend to go through a bottle between Sharon and I every Christmas, so that's not unusual. There is still some of that Jawbone gin left as well, Reed. So I will make sure that gets taken over to Sharon for Christmas. I haven't had much of it since. I haven't had any of it actually since that evening. Although I probably should do. It is really rather nice. And I still have a lot of that Japanese gin to drink as well. One to do here. There we go. Okay, that's that half all assembled. Foam's in place, just needs to put gaskets and bottom foams on. He says foams are in place, that's slightly coming out there. There we go, tucked away nicely. I think we just need to tuck away this foam at the bottom as well.
Tasty, tasty.
Tasty, tasty. Thank you so much, JQ, for 46 months of subs. Thoroughly appreciate you, my dude. Said his name and he came. Is that how it works in your world? You just say their name? That's a good talent to have. Where does this want to not go in? There we go. Just going to check that that is. Oh, I see. I'm just going to take this out for a second. If we can get it out. Not quite happy with how the bottom PEI sheet is aligned here, so I'm just going to adjust this slightly. That's better. I felt it was always that simple. Yeah. I agree, Talvin. I wish it was that simple. That would take the fun out of it though, right? It would make it less fun. Well, actually no, you can have a lot of fun with it, I suppose. You bump into your boss in the lift and, you know. There are many ways that could be fun. I think this stream has just gone downhill significantly. It's taking almost as long as it would do to solder a board, but it's worth the end result. It is an Alice Duo, yes. I'm just installing the switches at the moment. It'll be the stock firmware that comes with the board. It's a customer build, so if the customer wants to change the firmware and update it to the latest version, they will be able to, but that'll be up to them. Just tucking the foams back in. Okay, almost finished with installing the switches now. Just going to check which way around we want to be putting this one. It should be that way. There we go. Yeah, I mean it's generally the kind of like the software is generally up to the customer what version they want to use, right? So I don't like to presume or to change layouts for customers unless they specifically ask for me to do that. It's usually better to let them handle that themselves. These switches are really rather tight into the plate and PCB though. Okay. And last one. There we go. That is all of our switches installed. Everything's looking great there. Vince Williams for the win. Okay, which means we're now ready for the remainder of the board to be built and put together. So let's tidy up on tools and get our gaskets ready. I had to upgrade my firmware because the batteries were draining wildly fast, but no issues otherwise. Fair. Okay. Okay, so now we're just going to install the mounts, and these little socks basically just sit over the PCB. I'm just going to pop that on just like so. And we're just going to do that all the way around the board. Apparently there are some different ones. I'm not quite sure what we need the different ones for, but we'll take a look. A different hardness, I think they are, yeah. They do feel different. Better when companies color code the different hardness ones, in my opinion. Again, nice and easy for the customer to change if they so wish in the future. Right, we'll keep all of the hardware to one side because we're just going to use one little pouch at the end. And it's time to start to put everything together, so we need to carefully open plastic without scratching anything. can see inside. A little bit of dust there on the screen. There we go. Super cool. Okay. Let's do the left side first. Be careful, I'm just opening this. Come on. Okay, you can see there. A lovely base of it here, including my face, which none of you actually want to see. And then we've just got screws there and there and there, and that should be it. Yeah, just around the sides. There's 5 screws, so I'm just going to try and find the right size screwdriver for this. Something quite small. Is it going to be the right size? That is going to be the right size. Oops, just drop the screw in there. Rosgani, it's based on QMK rather than ZMK, I think. I'm not 100% certain, I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it is. It does come with a palm rest, yes. Okay. So, one of the things I always like to check on these is that the little pad here is already installed. It is, which means we're good. Oh, I said we were going to do the other side first. I've done it the wrong way around. I've picked up this side, which I didn't say I was going to do. But anyway, this side is the side that we're doing. So, a couple of things. I just need to flip this over and then figure out which bit of foam was for this side. Was it this one? No, that feels like it's... Oh, hang on, wait a second. Is that the one? No, I think this might be the foam. I should have kept them separate before, but I didn't. There we go, that feels a little bit more accustomed to. And then we're just going to pop the sheet in the base, just like so. That allows the magnetic connector to raise up and connect correctly. I'm just going to drop that down into position. Okay, I think we let that move around a little bit too much. Perhaps if we put it in first. I'm just going to make sure we align all of the pins up. On the gaskets. And we can place the top case back on. Make sure everything fits correctly. Looks good. We can screw that back in place. we're just doing the screws finger tight. You don't need to over tighten these. They're just not going to have much weight involved on them, so no point in trying to overstress the metals and damaging it. Drop that screw. No. Come on, Dre. Wake up, it's only 8 PM, 10 PM, whatever it is. There we go. Screw does not want to stay on the end of the screwdriver, which is unusual. Okay, I think we're just going to have to go with one of the spare screws because that just does not want to sit on the end of the screwdriver. Just typical. Come on. Don't know why that one was causing me more difficulties than the other 4. There we go, 1/2 assembled. Let's get the other half done. I know we have to take off the little Giro badge, so let's do that now. And then we can take the screws out. The real beauty of screwless is when you spend 10 times more dealing with screws. Yeah, I mean, it's not really screwless, it's just invisible screws or hidden screws, isn't it? That's the thing. I much prefer the buy-on bolt style method of the 45-degree angles. I think that's much better these days than many other screw options. I seem to have missed one. Where have I missed one? Oh, it's the tape on the bottom. I didn't take the tape off. I wondered what was holding it still. And then I remembered we still have the tape on, Jay. Lined in. Get the foam lined in. And then we can make sure we get the gaskets lined in. Feel the magnet pull, which is good. And there we go, everything is now centered and neat and tidy. Okay. Last one. And there we go. Okay. Board's looking great. Time to assemble, well, add the keycaps now. But before we do that, I'm just going to make sure that I put all of the extra parts for the customer back into the board. Sorry, back into a pouch, so we keep them nice and safe and secure, and we can ship them back to him when the time comes in a couple of days' time. There we go. We've got some spare diffusers to go in, and some spare gaskets. Okay, keycap time then. So, this customer has chosen EPBT camo. Let's, I think this is the novelty pack, it's a spacebar pack. Let's zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. Let's go with the light space bars because I think they fit the aesthetic a little bit better. Is that too big? Yeah, that's too big. That looks about right. Nice. And then for this side, I think we want that size. Nice. Do we use a spacebar there as well? I think that probably works nicely. And if we've got a dark one, we can use it here, just to give our spacebar aesthetic some work. Nice. No, it's EPBT. This is what the customer ordered. EPBT camo, and this is in stock right now on the website. This is what the customer ordered to go with the board, so that's what we're going to use. It's rare we do customer builds, but I figured why not. Mainly because I hadn't prepped one of my own boards to build tonight, and this was ready to build tomorrow, so I figured why not build it for the customer today. Just a little mark in the anodization there, but I think it's just grease. Yeah, it's gone now. This is the set for the customer today. Need to prod MVKB. I mean, it's in stock. You can still pick this up. You know, it's not gone anywhere. So it's still in stock on the website. This one's going to be very stylish when it's done. No you, but yeah, I think you're probably quite stylish once it's done. Looks great already. Let's put escape there. I think if this had been my personal build, I would have probably gone with modern materials on this. But this has always been a cool idea. Oh wait, I didn't know we had the Decimator still in stock. That's pretty cool to know. You can't see the cap so far. But you see the board starting to disappear as I put the caps on, right? I think this looks pretty good already though. okay. So we do have something we need to fix. The wire has popped out of the stabilizer. How I failed to notice that while I was assembling the board, I don't know. But we do need to fix that. That should be a relatively easy fix. God knows how I didn't notice that while I was doing everything for it. Oh, we need the other B. What am I doing, Jay? What am I doing? I hope there's another B. There is another B. Yeah, look, you can see the wires out on the stabilizer, so it won't pop down. The wires just popped through it. It's okay, we can fix that. We have the technology, we can rebuild him. Which is a quote that no one's ever going to know from my audience. I think there'll be like 3 people watching stream who'll recognize that quote. Okay, right, let's find out arrow keys. Here they are. Wait, that's up and down. Is that left and right? Wait, what? What? I don't know what's going on there. We'll check it in a second. Right, let's pop some of the keycaps over here. I'm just going to put Max Voltar's keycap at the top, and then we'll just pop some of the symbols here for the customer, and they can obviously choose how they want to lay that out later. $6 million man. Well played, good sir, well played. Are they 0.25U keys that we want here? Love that quote. I try to fit in everywhere, but it rarely fits. Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I'm an edge case. That's the right key. That's the right key. What else do we need? We need the second B, which should be in here, which is there. Need the 1.25U shift key. Sorry, 1.75U shift key, which is there. I feel like I've got the arrows wrong because that looks like the wrong row profile, so I'm just going to take that out. And let's see if we can figure out the correct arrow keys here. Okay, so it's going to be even that's wrong. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong symbols, that's why. Come on, Jay. Okay. And there we go. The build is done, except for I need to fix the stabilizer, which we'll do off stream. The board is built. You only know it because a colleague once quoted it. Let's get the wrist rests out. Some nice wrist rest goodness. And what needs fixing? The stabilizer here. It's the wires popped out during the assembly process, so that side of the stabilizer won't go down like this side has done. So I just need to take the stabilizer out and fix that. It's a very quick job, but we'll do that before we send it to the customer. Goes on the inner side of the wrist rest. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. I'll keep that for the customer. That's up to them if they want to do that. Oh, of course, it unscrewed the screwdriver. I didn't even think to check. Okay, and then we have our cables. Let's zoom the camera out a bit so you guys can see. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to connect up the cables. And we're just going to magnetize these on. I just want to make sure I've got the right cable for the right side. Don't believe they're different, I think they're the same. Okay, there we go. That attaches into that, just like so. And then we should be able to attach that onto there, like so. These cables are not going to be laid out the best, but you can of course move them on your desk as you'd like to. Go. And then we have one more cable to plug in, which is this cable here, which plugs directly into our PC, which I shall do just now. So normally I'd use my own cable for this, but I had issues with it the other week on a different QK0. There you go. That's how everything works. You'll see we've got all of the little lights going on inside here. This shows you connection, so as you can see when I connect this side again, we get the connection light up. And we've got both sides lit up, that's there. Power, status here. So you've got RGBs on the sections. Let's make sure everything works. Let me grab a switch hitter. Why can I not find a switch hitter? There it is. Okay, let's see if everything works. The half should be wireless now. Yeah, I think they will be, but we'll keep them wired for now. Delete, page up, page down. I suspect that's an FN key, but we'll check it later. Okay, escape's not working. 7's not working. Neither's 9. Oh, we've got some keys not working here. These could be bent pens. Or it could be columns here that we have issues with, so we'll have a look at that in a second. Yeah, it looks like we've got some columns not working. Interesting. Interesting. Bottom left is FM by default. If it is, it's not got all that to it. It does look like we have some issues with some stuff not working. Now, is that a connection issue with the cables, or is it something else that's causing the issue? That was just a cable one there. And that was just a cable one there. Still have a column not working here. That was just a cable there. Okay, so that's all now working. So all the left side is working. We've just got a column not working on the right. Again, is this going to be a connection issue on the other side? It was just a connection issue. Okay, cool. We are all working. I do not want your GeForce experience, but thank you for popping up on the screen. Cool, everything is now working, and just a couple of connections. Should we see what she sounds like? Zoom in a little bit so you guys can hear it a little bit. Well, see it a little bit better as we type. Some of the keys don't work for me when I do it wide. Yeah, I think it just needs a little bit of playing around with sometimes. You can see now the status for all of the lights is green, which is good. So yeah, I think that's all we needed. And I think you're right, we can put it in wireless mode, but I'll let the customer pick on how they want to do that. So turn off the music. And do you know what, I'm just going to disconnect it anyway for now, but there we go. And we'll see how it sounds. I just don't want to type something that's going to end up ruining the stream or something. Hit a key combo that doesn't work. Oh man, can you guys hear that? That sounds so good for a silent board. It does sound like dogs. Somehow it sounds more like Topra than Topra does. I knew I liked these switches, but I didn't realize I liked them this much. What an absolute beautiful banger of a board. These are the Gateron Mint Smoothies. They're in stock right now on the website. They sound so good. Sounds much better on the board. Sounds much better on the desk than it does on up in the air. Yeah, I really like it as well, Rue. And I'm not a Topra fan, particularly. These are stock switches. Yeah, absolutely stock switches. They're super nice to press, super smooth. Super happy with that. I hope Matt is happy with this. It's his board. Great choice of the keycaps as well. They work really well. Super happy with how this came out. I just need to fix the stabilizer here for him. You can hear the springs pinging? No. No, there's no springs. You don't see any keycaps. There's literally no spring ping in this at all. I don't know what you're hearing, but there is no spring ping. Fun fact, I've built I think 3 of these for customers, and every single one of them has gone with silent switches. I don't know why. I assume they want them for office boards. I have not yet built one with any particular normal type MX switch for its loud. When I'm gyrating, there is spring ping. There is no spring ping. There is absolutely no noise from the springs. There's not even any case ping. There's too much foam in here. There is no ping on those switches at all. I don't know what you're hearing, Man K or Main K, or however you pronounce your name. I guarantee you there is no spring ping. This isn't my build, so I'm not going to be taking foams out. The foams are there because it's a customer build, and that's how the customer wanted it. So the plate fork I have is not needed for today. It's a customer build. So yeah, but as I was saying, I've not built a single one of these yet with a standard normal MX switch that's like clacky or thocky or anything like that. Everyone seems to put silence in these, which is nice. I think there's this one which we've done with the mints, the Gateron Mint Smoothies, and then there was one that we did with Zeal Silence, which was quite interesting, but that's never been on stream. That was one that was commissioned to be built off stream. So yeah. Cool. Okay. I did say we'd play marbles before the end of the stream, so let's do that now. Let's put the music back on, and have a game of marbles, because we've not done that for a while. We'll play for a desk mat, so whoever wins gets a free desk mat off the website. Any desk mat that you like, it will be random, but you'll get a free desk mat, which is fun. So let me load up Steam and grab marbles. And where is it, marbles? Oh, we need to update it first. Let me just run this update real quick, and then we'll play marbles. Blast from the past is, you mean marbles is a blast from the past, or something else is a blast from the past? Okay, we're just going through the update at the moment for it. Silence? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. The customer is someone who used to be in keyboards. You'd know their name, but it would be unfair of me to share that. But they're no longer in keyboards anymore. So yeah, you would absolutely know their name though if I said it. I did say we'd play marbles, so we will play. It looks really nice. It sounds fantastic as well. Yeah, it sounds so good. Came out so well. Let me check if that update soon. Right, okay, cool. We can play marbles now. Okay. Let's get ready for the noise. Sometimes this game sounds really loud when we start playing it. Okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. We're just going to do a single race today. Was hoping for less strong in tactile mode. The clickies, but alas not. I did watch the Qatar Grand Prix. Yes, I did. Right, let's do a community track, and let's do the first random one that's over 3.5 minutes long. This one, altered kaleidoscopic line. Okay, so the Qatar Grand Prix, I was a little bit upset with McLaren, but we'll see how it goes. No, Matt, the issue is mine with the missing key. The key is here. I do have it, but I need to adjust the stabilizer for it, so I will do that before we ship it out to you. All you need to do now, guys, is !play to put yourselves in the race. And that will put you in the game. You can see I'm in there. Godzilla Waddle is, True Blades is as well, and a multitude of other people. So all you need to do is !play. It will put you in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to race. And the idea is whoever gets to the end of the track first, and there will be a track. There it is. Whoever gets to the end of the track first, this pot down here at the bottom, first will be the winner, and you will win a free desk mat off the website. So I will send you a random desk mat. All you'll need to do is reach out to myself or a moderator, and we will send you a free desk mat anywhere in the world. A bright track for once. Yeah, it's something I can actually follow and see. It's ages since we played marbles. I don't know why I've left it so long to play marbles, but yeah. Okay, right. You've now got 10 seconds to join. So if you aren't in the game already, !play will put you in it, and you can get a free prize, and we'll ship it worldwide for you. So 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and off they go. Let's see who gets into the pod first. It looks like Newfie's maybe just in the lead, and Godzilla Waddle's there as well. A little bit of a bump as they come through the first intersection there. Godzilla Waddle has the lead, but it all depends on who drops down first. Let's drop down to the bottom and see who's going to make it out first. Looks like everyone's kind of catching up and everyone's swirling together. Elbez is there as well, so is KCE and a few others. Silly Mellows in there, and so is Demotex. I'm there right at the very back. I think I'm in last place right now, but we'll see who comes around first. It looks like Godzilla Waddle's still got the lead, but Chaos 23 might be just behind, and KCE is fighting them as well. Godzilla Waddle is in the lead. Draglord takes up 4th place, and Jellenreek Bean rounds out the top 5 as we come through into the first Percolation Bowl. And then we've got a second Percolation Bowl coming up in a second. We're going to see who's going to make it out of here first. Duodod has now stolen the lead with Zero Red and Board Gaz at the back. Zizora's through as well, so is Keep Geek and Borage and Exist as well. A few people still in the first ball there. I'm still at the back too. We're now into the second one. Who's going to be the first person out here? It looks like Zizora has now taken the lead as we go and play Kaplunk. Down the tube, Zizora straight through, no messing around there, but Boardgaz comes through a little bit quicker, takes the lead as we drop down into the next series of windmills, and before we get to the big ball of sunshine death, whatever they're going to call that, looks like Zizora and Boardgaz are technically in the lead now, but Vrugdush is coming around on the far side. Zizora has picked up the lead again as we go into the second round of spindles, but Vrugdush is there as well. Exist is in the middle, and so is Zizora. Zizora's first one through. I don't know what the big ball of sunshine does, but I'm hoping it doesn't kill people. We'll soon find out. Exist is now in second place. Oh, you roll down the sun. I see how it works now. And it's now into a slalom. Let's see who's going to be the first here. Exist is first into the slalom. There's some speed boosts in here as well. Zizora's there too. Boardgaz takes out third place, and everyone else is now waiting to come down in the slalom. We've got a long way to go though yet as we come around the first series of bends. It looks like Exist is in the lead. Exist has got the lead from Zizora and Boardgaz. Duodod and KC not too far behind. Cyberslam, Captain Reed and Borange are coming through. So is Average Joe. Zero Red is up there too. Jellymaster and myself are right at the very back with Filio Fish. Exist's coming round. He's definitely got a good lead now, and it's quite a distance he's got to travel. Zizora's in second place, but there is a big jump coming up which might separate the adults from the children here. There's a big drop there, and I think we're going to see some deaths as we get closer to it. Let's see how that pans out for Exist as he has the lead. There's still a lot of slaloms and some obstacles to make the way past at the end though, so let's see how Exist does on the jump. First one over, and is he safe? Yes, he's safe. Zizora's coming through. Boardgaz is there as well. Looks like KCE and Duodod are going to round up for fourth. 3D Keycaps probably rounding out to sixth as well. DNA True Shot Official is in there too. Let's see how we do around here. Boardgaz now has the lead, I think. Taken a little bit of a lead. Oh, maybe not. No, Exist and Zizora were further around the second set of bends. But now we're into the maze section before we drop onto the hammers. Let's see who is going to be first to drop onto the hammers there. Some tracks are a little bit longer. Some tracks are a little bit shorter. JQ is our first death. He's out. He's down and out. He's gone. Exists and Zizora are now fighting for position here, but I think they might be lucky to miss that hammer. Both drop. Does anyone win? Exists takes the win. Congratulations, Exists. Zizora did die. He did steal the win there. Does Exist. I think Rue is about to die as well. KCE might be second. Yes. KCE and 3D Keycap round out our top three. DNA True Shot Official, Duodod, Cybersam, Average Joe, Borange, Keep Geek, and Zero Red. You are our top 10. Congratulations. Everyone else looks like they're dying. Hammers of Death. Hammer time. This track reminds me of RNG. Nice, I like that. Victory for JQ? No, I'm afraid not. Conan is flying high there. Congratulations, those exist. If you want to drop one of the mods a DM with your shipping address, name, and phone number, and email address, and we'll get a free random Desma out to you in the next few days. Probably be towards the end of the week, but congratulations. Let's have a look at the final results. Exists, KCE, 3D Keycap, top 3. DNA True Shot, Duodod, Cybersam, Average Joe, Borange, Keep Geek, Zero Red, round out the top 10. Newfie, True Blaze, Hammer Brother, Elbaz, Demotex, ZBC, Chaos 23, and Dragons round out our top 18, and everyone else, you're a DNF. Sorry, folks. Okay. I didn't die, let's go. Well done, man, for staying alive. That is the aim of the game, at least, to just finish. One day we'll have a marbles record. Maybe one day, dude. Maybe one day. Talent like a sports commentator. I try. I enjoy doing it. I don't do it very often. It's a while. That's the first one in probably 3 months that we've done. But it was good fun. It was good fun. Right, guys. Duodod didn't until early in the last lap. Spun. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It is 20 past 10, so I'm going to head off home now and get some sleep, ready to get plenty of packing orders done tomorrow and emails and everything else, because it's been quite manic over the weekend with it being Black Friday. I truly appreciate everyone who's placed an order over Black Friday. Thank you so much for your support. I thoroughly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope Matt enjoys his board when we send it to him. Matt, I do need to fix the stabilizer, so this will be a couple of days, and we'll ship it out to you probably Wednesday or Thursday, as I mentioned in my email to you, because we just like to make sure everything's working and tune everything, and I need to check the wireless functions and stuff like that as well. But we'll do all of that and get the board shipped out to you very soon. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Order a QK Jura if you like what you saw. Get some of the mint smoothies in stock. They're on sale until 8 o'clock in the morning. If you order more than 10 packs of 10, you will get 20% off your order. And yeah, go do a buy. thanks so much for watching, guys. I love you all. I hope you have a really good rest of your weekend, and I hope you have a really good week coming up as well. I'll see you guys on Instagram and Discord over the next few days, and I'll be on stream on Sunday as well. Maybe a Thursday stream this week if I've got time. We'll see. Take care, guys. Have a great night.